To conform to new regulatory obligations, regulated firms are required to make sense of and consolidate their data. Now, this may seem like a cumbersome process, but SteelEye believes this presents a hidden opportunity and that real value can be found from bringing disparate systems together. Let's find out how companies can mine the vast potential from their data.
Huge regulatory reforms may have been years in the making, but there's no escaping the pace at which they're now approaching. January 2018 is a watershed moment. For many firms, the challenge is not only to be prepared, but also to be ready to exploit the new financial landscape.
There's lots of new laws coming in. The big one in the investment sector is MiFID II, which is the change to the Markets in Financial Instruments Directive, regulation that's affecting financial institutions in Europe, UK and around the world. Has been developed at an international level. It's a big burden for firms. I mean, there's a lot of cost and time commitments. There's a lot of regulation that's happening at the same time, which means that firms are having to keep a track of a quite complex regulatory horizon.
How are we getting on with that best execution client integration?
So as companies try to ensure they comply with the regulations, many will need support.
At the heart of it is data. So these firms really need to make sense of the information within their organization. So this is how they communicate, it's their executions, it's market data, and they need to bring it together. And once they do that, then they're able to actually start providing conformancy to the different components of the regulations.
Okay, so tell me how this system works.
So in the best execution module, we give the users the ability to have oversight around their execution policies. They're able to look at the market data and see how they executed versus what was happening in the market at that time. For instance, if I want to look at everything below the market price, I can toggle on here and see everything transitioning to the left.
So here we can see the communications as they happened.
That's exactly right. We bring everything together in this dashboard. They can see that this email led to that order, which led to that trade. They can click on a particular record, in this case a voice record, and go ahead and listen to it.
Now that many financial firms will have to store this data, there's the opportunity to really make use of it.
There's just over 13,000 firms that have an obligation to meet their regulatory requirement for MiFID II.
So this is an opportunity for other companies to get more value out of their own data?
Absolutely right. So today, dormant data is stored because of a regulatory need, and not many folks take insight out of that or value from that dormant data.
There's opportunity hidden in that data. Now that opportunity could be operational efficiencies, or it could be a commercial opportunity. But if you really look at this strategically, don't just compete means that you might just look at MiFID II as being one of the best things to happen to your company.
The regulatory changes should help democratize the industry, making more data more widely available to smaller firms. Those with experience of the regulatory environment sense the opportunities in the reforms.
Regulation is a global sport, okay, these days. The idea that everybody can do their own thing is just not the case. You have to be able to cooperate, you have to be able to share data. Using data effectively is something where many tech companies have, I think, stolen a march on perhaps financial services firms in terms of their ability to synthesize and analyze data, to understand what it tells them about their customers and what they're doing.
More regulation isn't always welcomed in financial centres like London, and of course there will be costs and challenges, but that's not the whole picture.
It's very important that local regulators such as the FCA spend time finding ways to make it easier for financial firms in London to conform, make it not just easier but less expensive. And this is where technology can help. Firms can achieve a lot without having to spend the big ticket items that they may think they need to.
Is there a psychological gap here? People thinking this is dead money, this is creating data to hand over to someone else?
It is, and this is where the dawn of the horizon really sits, in the sense that if you spend the time now getting your data right without spending a huge amount of money, there is opportunity. I think firms should be looking to the future to find that opportunity. You might not know what it is today, but if you're thinking about it now, it will manifest itself as you start to understand what you managed to achieve.